Alright, welcome back to Mother Cluckers Keto Kitchen. Today we are going to be making tortillas. Now I have never ever done this, so this will be trial and error on camera, so it ought to be quite comical. The first one we're going to make is a Mexican tortilla, and then I'm going to make another batch that is an Italian tortilla that I can use in replace of bread for my zoodles and my spaghettis and stuff like that I make homemade. So what we're going to need are spices for this. It's a teaspoon of pink Himalayan salt, a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of onion powder, a teaspoon of chili powder, teaspoon of paprika, and a teaspoon of cumin. And that's the flavoring that's going to go in the tortilla itself. Along with that, we are going to add 8 egg whites, and instead of breaking apart all of my eggs and trying to figure out what I'm going to do with the yolks, I went ahead and bought just a carton of cage-free 100% egg whites. So what we're going to do, and this says on here 3/4 a cup is 4, 3/4 a cup is 6 ounces, I believe, so we're going to use 12 ounces of egg whites. See how good I am at measuring. Okay, that's about 8 eggs worth of egg whites. That seems like an awful lot, but according to this, that's 8 of them. Alright, so dump them bad boys in there. To that, we're going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, not soda, powder. So dump that in there and give that a little whisk just to break it apart. Baking powder is kind of funny. Alright, then I'm going to add our seasoning. Dump all that in. Whisk it together, and that's going to give it a lot of color. Alright, now we have that. We set these aside. And we're going to put in coconut powder, or flour. Powder, it is a powder. We're going to use a 1/3 cup coconut flour. Try and get that as even as I can. And I'm just going to dump that right in there. Now, coconut flour, when you cook with it, it's a lot denser than almond flour. A lot of people have nut allergies, and this is just a variation of that. I personally like the coconut flour over almond flour, but there's certain things that I use almond flour in. Alright, so we have this all nice and mixed up. It's a little thick, so when it's thick, you're going to need to add some water, and that's what we're going to thin it down with. You kind of want this pretty runny, from what I understand. Keep going. Alright. Looks good. Alright. So we are going to try this. I'll set this over here out of the way. I've got a pan preheating over here, kind of a low heating. I'm going to use some coconut spray. Spray that in. So we're just going to pour a little bit of our batter in there like that. Hopefully our pan is hot enough just to go around. And depending on how you want them, these are taco size, or what do they call them now? Street taco size or something like that. We're going to let it sit in the pan a little bit. It takes a little bit. You can see it's starting to come together there when I shake it. Kind of shake it around. You obviously want a non-stick pan for this. Alright guys, wait just a minute here or two. We're going to wait for the center to get a little bit more done. we're going to try and flip this baby. Like I said, I haven't done this before on TV. So we're going to take it and flip it. Not too bad. One little flub on it. Looks like a pancake. We're going to flatten it out a little bit. Now this recipe called for 8 egg whites and a 1/3 cup of coconut flour. I think my next one, when I do the Italian ones, I'm not going to use as much coconut flour because I think it made it, it's a little thick. So this is what they should look like. These will be pliable. You'll be able to fold them over. They're pretty thin. Make sure they get some good color on them. Now these ones almost look like they've got a cornmeal in them, but they don't. It's just because of all the cumin and the pepper and the chili powder and stuff like that that I have in them. So it made them more of an orange. So it almost looks like a corn tortilla. All right, so that's done. We'll plop that out there. Do a little spray. Now this one's cooking. This one, still hot, but you can see that they'll stay like this. You can fold them around. You can do whatever. That's because they're made with egg, and they'll actually stay together like that. So we'll put that there. And I'm also using the plate. Look at my plate. This is the plate that I made when I was 5 years old. I was brownies, guys, in the brownies in Hawaii with my mom and dad. I made this, and my mother had this put on this plate for me and kept it all these years. Now I have it. I am the keeper of my plate now, and I am proud of this baby. I drew that freehand, if you can't tell. That's great. I love my plate. All right, back to this bad boy. Let's see if we burn it. No, perfect. Look at there. Looks like a tortilla. Maybe I'm just trying to hurry it along too fast. I don't know. That looks pretty good, I tell you. Can't wait to taste them. When we do this, I'm going to make, tonight for dinner, we're having some Mexican food. So we're going to do some ground beef and some onions and stuff like that. My son's favorite, like you all know. And put some peppers in there and have some little street tacos. Wow, this one's actually really nice. Look at that one. Alrighty. Give it a jiggle. I have to set the fire alarm off here pretty soon. I'll have to turn my pan down. It's getting smoky in here. Hot in here. Alright. Let that cook for a second. I'm going to go throw this over here in the water. I've got my thing. I'm going to use the same bowl. Like I said, I can't hardly wait to taste these. These are going to be so good. I've got faith in myself. Yummy, yummy, spectacular goodness. All right. So, plate, paper towel, try this booger off. Alright, set him there. That guy looks like he's about ready to be flipped. Ta-da! Look at that! Alright, I'm going to turn this one down a little bit. Oh, it smells really good too. Hopefully that isn't where all the seasoning went, was to the bottom of the bowl. That's what usually happens. We'll see. Alright. He looks pretty spectacular. I guess I just noticed I'm calling them all he's. Maybe it should be a she. All right, pan is hot. We're gonna try this again. I'll try one of those in a second. So, 12 ounces, or was it 12 ounces? Yeah, 6 ounces, 12 ounces, 8 eggs. And I've used probably 3/4 of this carton. And this first one with the other one, it made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 of them. I probably could have got 12 of them out of it, but we did 11. So that's not so bad. I'm going to dump that in. And then for the seasoning for the Italian one, of course we have garlic powder, we have onion powder, we have pink Himalayan salt, and I have a mixture of Italian spices, which is oregano, basil, or basil, whatever you want to call it. And it has one more herb in it, and I couldn't tell you what that is right now because I don't know. But we're going to dump that in. Whisk it around really good. I'm going to dump our baking powder in, and I'm actually going to use not as much. I'm going to use, let's see. So if that's 1/4, I'll try and get 1/8 out of this. About 1/8. Now we're going to try this and see how that works. Get all of that mixed up really, really good. I'm also going to try a little bit less coconut flour. I'm going to start out with maybe this much of it, not quite full of 1/3 of a cup. And honestly, I don't know how much that probably was, but just a little bit. All right. Get it in here. That smells good. All right. Let's see. Well, this one actually looks a lot better even without adding water. I'll see as it sits here. I'm going to use one to start. Dump that out. I'm going to use it without adding any water in it this first time. And we'll see what the coconut flour does, because it does get thick. Alright. It smells really good, actually. And this one is a lot runnier. This is like the ones that I see on TV. Look at there. I might have happened upon something here. We'll see. I'm going to turn my heat down just a little. I think it's a little too hot. So this one, wow, that's perfect. Whoop. And you can see how it bubbles up with just that little bit, half. I used 1/8 of a teaspoon of baking powder on this one, and it's still puffed up quite a bit. So that's actually pretty good. I think I like this mixture a lot better. Trial and error. And you guys can try it too. It just depends, I guess, on the brands of coconut flour you have. I don't think it's really going to matter on the baking powder or the eggs that you use. They're all pretty uniform. Coconut flours, though, are a little bit different. All right. So I'm going to grab a different plate. I can tell these apart, but I don't want the flavors to be married. So that's our first Italian one. I'm going to set her. Those are hymns. These are hers. Over there. Just a quick. Yeah, see, it's already starting to get a little bit thicker, so I may add some water to it. Let's see. We'll do one more and see how this one works. See if it's still the same. It's still pretty runny. I'm going to add just a little bit of water, so I might have spoke too soon. I'm going to dump a little bit of water in there, give it a quick stir. You'd be surprised what you can do keto. You can make just about any meal that anybody else has, and you can make it keto with just a few variations. So look at that. And these are actually, ooh, did you see it grow? That was kind of cool. I haven't seen that before. That's cool. Check that out. All right. So yeah, anything that you make normally, or that you would make for your husband or your kids or girlfriend, boyfriend, significant other, whoever they might be, you can make keto. And in fact, I bet you if you make them keto meals, they would never know it was keto, unless it was something they absolutely don't like onions. Then they would know. All right, there's two. A little wider. Alright. Stir it a little. Make sure I don't get anything settled on the bottom. Yeah, I think this mixture is a little bit better than that one. I think that one got a little too thick. So, ooh, this one might be a nice big one. Look at that. Round and around it goes. Alrighty. I'll put these things up while that's cooking over there. That one's looking pretty darn good, actually. Okay. Let's look at the bottom of it. These ones are a little lighter, so a little easier to tell. I need to cook this little spot right in here a little bit more. Seems like the middle of it right there always wants to come apart on these ones. It didn't do that on the other ones, so maybe it's just because of the thinner mixture. All right, underneath it. There you go. Look at that. There it goes. Scooting out some more. Isn't that cool? It's still going. We'll flatten it out a little bit. It's still kind of thick, so it's pretty good though. I'm excited. I'm excited. Got a couple flubs and that's it. For the very first time. That's all. Alright. So I get this booger out. Ooh. There we go. Maybe I'll just use all of it. There we go. Make somebody happy. Nice big fat tortilla. Alright. Let's get that out. Over there. Oh yeah. Look at that. That'll be a big one for someone. I'll let that one cook. Alright, while that one's cooking, I have one right here. We're still going to take a look at it. It's still, you can still roll it up. This is completely cooled. This is the first one that I kind of messed up on. It's kind of breaking apart a little bit, but not really bad. That's really good. I would eat those. I would eat those just plain. Just a snack. Throw some cheese on it, some guac, something. That's really good. I do like that. Alright, let me get this last one here. This is a monster one. Let's see if I can do this without it. Oh, I'm good. Look at that. Alright guys. So that's it for this. When I come back, we're going to be making the mixture to put in these, especially, well, basically just for the Mexican ones. These ones I'm actually going to stack and freeze for another day, another time. I know that these are really good, so I know that these are going to be awesome. And I'm going to use these for just my bread. I think I can just roll these up and use it as a bread. Might be able to put them in a toaster oven, crisp them up a little bit, use them as a breadstick or something like that. Actually might be pretty good. And it doesn't taste eggy. I think that the combination of the spices in them, it made it not eggy at all, and then minus the egg yolk. So, works good. Alright guys, last one. I got both